This past week, an old book title has been in my head a lot. The book was Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. The book came out about 25 years ago, and it has lots of advice that's wise advice. It's a cute book, short, quick read. And I'm not pushing the book, but I love the title. And the author admits he got the title from someone else as well. Because I think it's a great pointer. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. And it reminds me how we make our problems meaningful. We make them significant. Stuff happens. Always stuff happens in life, right? New circumstances, other people get triggered, we get triggered. All that's going on all the time. And most of it isn't a big deal to us, but every once in a while, something becomes really significant and full of meaning. And that's when we stop seeing it as small stuff and we start to sweat it. And I think that's just a great reminder. It's all small stuff. So what does that look like? What does that mean? You might have a fight with a friend or a mate or a kid and get upset by it and start to make it really meaningful, like extrapolate from it. This means that, and boy, that's what's going to happen to us, and that's what should happen to him, and get really caught in it and really enter into a kind of little scenario of your own making in your head, full of significance and meaning. And if you act from that, now you're acting from this deeply meaningful, mostly negative place. Probably your actions aren't going to be the ones that help resolve the situation. So in a way, then it becomes a self-fulfilling scenario. As you see it that way, you act that way, and you're likely to get reactions that take you down that path. But we don't have to. We can also just remember it's all small stuff. All that heaviness, all that meaning, all that significance, that's added. That's added by us. It's not there. You had a fight with someone. Okay. They got upset. Okay. You got upset. All right. What's for breakfast? I mean, it doesn't have to have much more to it than that. Now, you might see like, I should apologize for that. Okay. They acted inappropriately. All right. That happens in life. We do that. But it doesn't need to mean a lot. And it especially doesn't need to determine the future. It's all small stuff. Also noticed stuff I resist doing. What's the common thread? Now, this is me. You may have a different thread for you. Mine is I've made it really significant. It's really important to get this one exactly right. It's got to be perfect. And that stuff, man, I can put it off forever. It's heavy. It's hard. But if I remember, like, no, it's not. It's just small stuff. None of this is significant. It's all just part of the play. And suddenly it's like, that's not a big deal. Just do it. I make a mistake in a project for a client, and I can go down the path. Wow, that's the most terrible thing. And how did I do it? And oh my God, what's going to happen to the project? Or made a mistake. And we'll address it and take care of it and see how things play out. And even if the project ends, even that is ultimately small stuff. So don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Now, as I've been thinking about it, there's a couple of questions I came to myself. One is, well, is this negating having your emotions? Because when you're in that deeply meaningful, significant sense, there's a lot of powerful emotion present. Is this stepping over or ignoring or denying? And I don't see it that way at all. I think it's fine. I think it's good and healthy to have the emotion. The issue is what meaning we add to the emotion. In fact, I'm going to emphasize that. I think it's healthy to have the emotion. You want to have it. You want, if you're angry, experience the anger. But one of the interesting things I find is if I really let myself experience anger, it burns out pretty quickly. It doesn't stick around. So the issue isn't the emotion. The issue is the meaning added to the emotion. Now, as you change the meaning, the emotions are going to change too, but that may not be apparent at first. So yes, have the emotions. Just don't have the meaning to go with them. Other question is, people might ask, what about the really significant stuff in life? Global warming or the war in Ukraine or atrocities around the world. I mean, that is not small stuff. Shouldn't you be sweating it? And my answer is, no, it doesn't help for you to sweat it. Absolutely. If you're in position and move to take action on those things, that's great. Do it. What gets in the way is our own reactions to that and getting caught by them, making big stuff out of small stuff reactions, as opposed to being centered and peaceful and in action to make a difference. So even those, I think it's really valuable to not sweat the small stuff and recognize how much small stuff there is. Anyways, it's a pointer. I found it really helpful. I thought you might too. Thanks for listening.